And here we go. It's the Cosmic Watch. I'm Franklin, your astrologer. And here on YouTube tonight, we will open up our chat room and over the next hour do readings for subscribers as they drop in. And I try to be of service, to be useful to them and answer their questions. We look at what's happening astrologically for those perhaps born on this date. And this is one of the things that you can check out for yourself. As we have all of these videos loaded up right here on YouTube, and I see that SJ is joining us in the chat room. SJ, you get to be up first tonight. Is oh hey, SJ would, and boy, isn't that the great way to get the night going here? SJ says, will my rent go up? Ooh, boy, we're in a brand new year here, right? And SJ wonders, is the rent going to go up? Yeah, the answer is yes. It will, and this is inevitable, right? This is there is a new beginning coming in where the moon sign is in Taurus tonight. So of course things are all about money, SJ, and so this says that you might change where you are because of this. This is you putting the past behind you and finding out what happens next. So, and this also could be that if you don't agree with that rent change, that maybe you can have something to say about it. Maybe it's not written in stone. So there's a lot going on there. And here is Arv. Arv has been in the room before, yes, and saying hi to the group here. And what we do during we have an hour, and those who subscribe to the channel can drop into the room and see what we can do for them. Arv, is there a question that you have to start off a reading for you tonight? Anything that you specifically want to look at on this final day of Capricorn? And what that means is that not only does Aquarius begin tomorrow, but today we are on the cusp between Capricorn and Aquarius, and that's a mixture. Arv says, yes, Harv has a question. Will I be a mom soon? Okay. I seems like I'm remembering our previous conversation. Am I going to be a mom soon? Is the question. Oh yes, boy, you can't this is the tarot card for Capricorn. The world, the things coming together. The answer is most assuredly yes. You get what you're asking for, what you've prayed for, what you've asked telepathically the spirit world to bring to you. It's on the way. It's a done deal. So this is very good news. You get what you're asking for, and that's no matter what comes to you, you always have to take it with a grain of salt because it's meant to teach you a lesson. If we were going to find our enlightenment through taking the easy path in one particular life, with the whole world would have already been enlightened, right? Or saying, yay, my mother is the Capricorn. I see a sun with me every day now. Yes, yes, and this movement on the cusp here um, is about making the swing from career, which is what Capricorn is all about. I mean, your place in the world and how high you can climb, and changing over to what you can do for the world, what you can do for humanity to bring love into the world. And it's, boy, what a great mix. Joining us in the chat room is Larry. Larry says hello, and Larry, would do you have a particular question that you want to ask tonight, Larry, or would you rather just have a look into this final day of career mindedness, with of course the moon sign in Taurus is all about money always. Larry says pull a card for him. Larry is oh, okay. There it is. Larry, that's you making the leap of faith, saying saying yes to what the universe wants to give you. Larry, there's something waiting when you step off of that cliff into the unknown. There's 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 something really monumental, life changing that's waiting for you to decide that the time is right, that everything has moved into place, and you're ready to leave the old behind. Because Larry, when you make that next step, you change everything in your life. You you really remix everything in your life, and it's going to change how everyone sees you. That's going to be the huge change that comes into your life personally, from the notoriety, whatever it is that you're about to take this leap of faith into. And isn't that how the world changes us? Is how the world sees us, and what the world thinks of us could really change how we see. Arv says, "What a great reading and much gratitude." Oh, that's the most wonderful recompense that you can get for doing readings. That's the whole reason that psychics do readings. It is to be useful. It is to be helpful. You know, a seer in seclusion is pretty useless. I mean, you can do readings for yourself forever, and find out everything that's wrong with yourself. But when you start doing readings for other people, you find out that everyone has spirit guides, and your guides speak up. They're always trying to lead you in particular directions, what they think is the fastest way to your fate, to your destiny, whatever whatever unfortunately happens to be the hardest thing for you to do in this lifetime. That's what you're meant to do. That's all you have to accomplish in order to gain your enlightenment. Right? I mean, how easy could it be? Heather has come into the chat room with us. Heather, how are you doing tonight? Is there a question? Me, oh, listen, my wife had COVID for the past week or so, and finally, whew, man, they gave her steroids and knocked it out, and but it was a tough time there for a week. And then we got snowed in, and it's like cabin fever when you get this much snow where we are. We got like a year's worth of snow in overnight, and that really slows things down. But I am coming back. I feel like there's been towards the end of this week things have really shifted. Heather says, doing good, sore from shoveling the driveway. Whoo! And then did my neighbors. It's one good deed leads to another, doesn't it? It's Heather. If we have a look at what's going on with you as you're trying to come back after the blizzard of 24, man, look at that. This is Heather. It's a gift from the universe. Uh, so Heather says, anything that I should know about getting a house? About getting a house. Well, this is the universe giving you what you've asked for, and even more than that, this is the universe giving you, Heather, what you deserve. Oh, it's and there's so many things come to us disguised as new responsibilities or something we're going to have to do for someone, and they turn out to be an opportunity to work with people, to work together, and that's just the greatest thing in the world. That makes you feel better than anything is to do something with someone, to do it for someone, to help them do something that they can't get done by themselves. So, Heather, about that, about getting a house. Yes, I think that what's going to happen is there's really an angel on your side here. That's what the white dove is, bringing you what you deserve, bringing you what will make it easier for you. And so there's there's very good fortune involved around you getting this place, getting a new place. So let things fall into place. There's no need to try and push it to make it go faster. Faster is not necessarily better, and so often it's what we don't do that saves us from knocking ourselves out of a good opportunity. So everyone is getting very, very positive readings tonight, and this is a part of us shifting from Capricorn. This is midnight tonight. We go into Aquarius. Heather says, is Jess the right person to help me with this? So is Jess the one who can bring this to Heather? Is that the way this is supposed to work? In order for it, say, and Heather says we haven't gotten to actually go over it, and okay, so it's what's happening with between you and Jess, and what is happening is to bring the two of you closer together, to give you a mutual dream, to bring you together, to show you that you need each other. This is a two-part situation, and both of you are going to bring what is needed by the other, and that's this is why we have relationships with different people throughout our life. And there's so many different relationships you can have that don't have to be any particular kind of relationship, because every relationship is a new thing. It's like every day is a new miracle. We're all changing all the time. We're all learning from what we did yesterday, right? It's the only thing you can do wrong is to not learn from your past. Arv says, how do we use astrology and higher wisdom to keep a relationship? It's by the reason that we have these fables about the 12 different personalities of the 12 different signs in astrology is to show us how different everybody is, and how we have to respect the differences between everybody, and to be able to see that everybody looks at the world differently. There's different astrology in every country and around the world. So they were all looking at the same stars, but from different viewpoints. And this is why astrology works for so many different people, is because there's so many different ways to do it. There's so many different ways to identify people of a common birth date, and let them see not only that they can better understand themselves by seeing these traits that are common from everyone, but they can also see and appreciate that everybody has a different point of view. And that's the great thing about astrology. There's a point to it. The overall reason for astrology is to show us that forgiveness works so much better than revenge. Revenge is never ending. Revenge creates more revenge. And this is it's a never ending thing. Forgiveness can do so much to heal the past, where revenge never heals the past. You cannot heal the past with revenge. Oh, pardon me. I almost have a cold myself. As you can see, I have my own symptoms, and I've isolated myself. I'm right here, and being able to work is really a wonderful thing in these very strange times that we have. Heather says, I usually say karma can deal with that. And it is so true. Dear, how you perceive the things that come into your life. Of course, this is how we can change our world by knowing about our past, by learning from our past. You see, if you don't learn anything from your past, you're going to repeat it in the same way with the same attitude and learn nothing from it and waste your time, and you're going to have to repeat it. Look at politicians who are still saying the same words they were saying 25 years ago. They're stuck in their own past because they haven't learned from it, and they're having to repeat their own past over and over and over again until finally they will learn. And we're all trying to learn from each other, and that means we have to be able to learn from each other's mistakes because we all make mistakes. Why 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 do you think the the negative side of the universe would try to make us make mistakes? It's so we won't trust each other, and we'll try to make decisions for each other. Think about think about teenagers. Think about the elderly, young and old, making decisions for each other because they can't trust each other to not make mistakes. And it's the same between men and women. It, if you don't trust the other side, you start making decisions for them. And that's what's caused such a power struggle between men and women, and then the same power struggle between young and old, which has been going on forever. And it's a way to keep us from not cooperating with each other. And this is what astrology teaches us is that working together is the way. You look at all the different religions around the world. That they can't all be exactly right. They can all be a little bit wrong, though, in thinking that they have all of the knowledge that's necessary. Some At some point, the religions will all have to come together. They all have a part of the same story, and stories are really all that we know. When 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 I say that the tarot cards or the different signs in astrology um, are really based upon fables of what that person would be, it's the same way for everything that's ever been written. Arv says, get some classic Coke and cola. Yes, and yeah, there you go. See now, there is a good um, remedy. There's there's always um, a way of treating without going to drugs. And this is what the world is really coming back to so much is some of the forgotten methods of being able to deal with everything that comes our way because of the air that we breathe. Heather says, just thinking about some warm honey. Oh man, um, you know, hot tea with honey is good for everything. It truly is, and works so well. And yet, Larry says, there's also another ingredient that could be added to these hot toddies, right? And truly, this is the time of the year when uh, people drank for a reason, back a million years ago, right, was to keep warm in the wintertime. And certainly that is one of the effects of drinking alcohol. And when when we look at things that are considered by some people to be bad habits, it's not the intoxicant. It's the overuse of the intoxicant that causes the problem. And this is it's the same as the food, right? And these are the great temptations that are put forth in front of us every single day. Look look at look at advertising. What's the message that they're trying to sell no matter what? It is that if you use our product, you'll have a happy life. Look at something as truly unnecessary as soda pop, right? What if it all disappeared tomorrow? The world would only the only change the world would see would be redistribution of the billions of dollars that a company like Coke or Pepsi has to spend on 24/7 advertising worldwide just to provide a future for a basically unneeded product by convincing everyone in the world that everyone else in the world is enjoying. That's why they have all those signs, all those commercials of happy people enjoying whatever product it is. You're being groomed to be a user, right? A consumer. If you don't consume, you're not fulfilling your place in this world the way it's set up out here now. SJ says, my friend wants to know if her family, oh boy, the family took money from her will. Ooh, now that's the kind of thing that happens within families. It's let's see, SJ. Is that the truth? Is that what actually happened? Yeah, it looks like it is. That a younger person uh, took the easy way out, and well, and at least caused that to happen somehow, manipulated that. So yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the the thing that you have to remember about families is never say never. Never never think that things aren't going to change, that people aren't going to change. When I do readings, you know how good those readings are tomorrow? They're only good tomorrow if no one changes. And for you not to change tomorrow would of course you will. And to think that everyone involved in a family situation they're all going to change tomorrow. And every single day, never say never, especially where family's involved. It's uh, I'm 73 years old, and you don't learn those things overnight. I'm grandfather now. I'm thinking about the different generations. I knew my grandparents. I knew all four of my grandparents. and, and now I have grandchildren of my own. And to have known all these people in these different generations, to see how the world changed them, how they tried to be who they were, and the world changed them. The world came to them, and every one of us changed. It's amazing that we all have a story. We all have a fate. We all are here with an intention. We all have a reason for being here. If your actions were not necessary to promote the evolution of the entire universe, then your actions would not have been provoked by circumstances beyond your control. Circumstances beyond your control. This is the universe leading you to find your fate, to find that it's whatever is hardest for you. When I tell someone that forgiveness is the key to enlightenment, they say, well, that's wonderful, but to forgive what my enemies have done to me in this particular lifetime, that would be the hardest thing that I could possibly do. Congratulations. You just figured out the secret of the ages. It's whatever is hardest for you to do. Whatever that is, whatever you think is most impossible, that has to be what you're here to do. If it was to do the easiest thing, we would have already reached worldwide enlightenment, because we all do the easiest thing. We all get by. So that's what's going on with astrology. Astrology, reading the stars, is tracking the past so you can see what's coming next. The stars make these same circles all the time. They've been doing it for billions of years. And it was by studying the stars that it was ever figured out that the earth was not flat. Right? It was by studying the retrograde of the planets that we talk about all the time. Mercury very often appears to be stopping and going backwards, and it was that movement that told Copernicus that everything was circling around the sun, not the earth. It's not our receiving point here on the earth. All the power comes from the sun. Are saying the hardest thing, yeah, that's that means that taking revenge does no good whatsoever. Think about how many people have wasted their lives avenging old deaths, when the spirit inside of you and I does not die We're reincarnated into another life. We are not going to be gone. All we do is go into the spirit world where we came from. Everything is circular in this universe. Everything is affected by gravity. So it goes in a circle. What goes around comes around finally. And we're all circling and trying to connect with each other. Ions trying to connect with electrons, trying to find your soulmate. It's the same thing, human with human, trying to find that one out there that makes sense to you, because we do have reincarnation. We have groups of people, soulmates, who we move through lifetimes with. My wife and I in this life, we're at love at first sight. My goodness, we got married as teenagers, and it's we were together in my karma building life, and we were brother and sister in that life. And by being able to look back at that life 1,000 years ago, hundreds of years ago, um, uh, it was predictable that she was going to get very sick, that she was going to have cancer in this lifetime, and that she was going to get over it. That's what. Can you imagine having to go through 10 years of the hardest thing in the world, to watch your soulmate fading away and just getting worse and worse? And the only saving grace was to know that in the end she was going to get better. To know that to know beforehand that the most disruptive force that has ever come into our life was going to come into our house, and that was going to make her angry enough to suddenly get up after 10 years of being in the bed and saying, I'm back. I'm here. I'm going to do this. And she has, to just a remarkable extent. But to know these things has been such a help. That's the good part of doing readings for people is that you can give them hope for a better future. And that's the only people who are able to, the only humans who are able to change with the times are those who can see that the future is going to be better. You can't live in the past. And so many of our religions and our governments are still living in the dark ages. In an age when they try to keep us under control. Governments have forever used religion as an opiate for the masses to ease the pain of being milked, like one more herd of cattle imprisoned by today's financial fences that we're being held in by. Everything in your life and your death can be summed up in a financial transaction at the central bank. It's we've gotten to a strange place in the world, And when you look at it, it would have been just as easy to create a world that is sane and sensible as it is the one that we've created today. But the people would not have blindly followed their leaders and followed them down the rabbit hole of greed and being scared of each other. And that's the biggest negative influence on earth today, is that we have been told to be scared of each other. And we're we're doing it to each other. And that's the terrible thing, is that we're hurting each other instead of working together. And at some point, we're all going to have to come together. It's the only thing that makes sense. Is we've tried everything else, haven't we? And at some point, we're going to have to get back to compromise. The big one of the really big problems of today is that opposites attract. They do. If you mix politics with religion and you use revenge instead of compromise as your final answer, that's how you create the world that we live in today. People who are looking for revenge as the final answer. That's why it's so hard to change. People, every one of us has spirit guides. Sometimes those spirit guides can push us in a direction that will make us find our enlightenment sooner by not being around, by giving us bad habits, by pushing us in the wrong direction. And sometimes our guides, who always come to us as just, your spirit guides, your angels, those that you trust. Why do you trust them? Because they come to you in your voice. They sound like you. They come to you in visions where they are whatever race you are and whatever gender you are. This is why you consider that to be the spirit world, what God and all the angels are. Sometimes these angels can come to us and give us dispensation to do whatever evil someone has done to us, to return that evil. And see, right there is the whole problem. It's the negative side of the universe that created punishment for making mistakes, instead of forgiving others and accepting the fact that they're going to learn from their mistakes. So it goes back to forgiveness. And once we forgive other people for the wrongs that they've done, once you see that everyone is here for a purpose, everyone is striving. Some people are being used as a bad example. Yeah, think about that for a minute. All right. So the next time that you find yourself getting angry and you hear yourself say something that you didn't want to say, that, oh, come on, it's just going to cause more problems. Think about how open you are to your spirit guides. And that sometimes your guides, pardon me, they're making it hard for me to talk. Perhaps I'm not supposed to tell you this, but sometimes your guides are just there for the emotions. They're there to take a joy ride on your spirit using love, lust, anger, hate, your need for revenge. Oh, they know how to push your buttons. I see. What would hit patriotic Avenger? You have to do it. The state told you it was fine to go out there and do whatever. Arb says, and can work with that. So I'm afraid maybe uh, uh, everything that comes to me for the purpose of me finding my enlightenment. I know it's not the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. It's the truth that I, as a human being of today, can put to use. That it's like seeing my former lives. I can use that, but I have to know I'm being shown what my guides think I need to see. It's not necessarily even the truth. It's what's meant for me. And this is why I have to be very careful about passing any sort of information like this along, because everything starts with fables, stories, the stories that were told by all of the great teachers of the world. They used these fables. How to think about Moses, the first historian who actually wrote it down. In the story that Moses writes about Cain and Abel, how do we know that this is a fable? Well, you take the inside track. If you know that the name Cain means he who hates, and the name Abel means here for only a short time, like a gust of wind. If you know that beforehand, you know that Moses was writing a fable, and he was trying to show us that Cain had his problem, his karmic problem, was getting past anger, was getting past letting anger override everything. And what about Abel? What was Abel supposed to be learning? He was supposed to be learning that revenge has no end. He had to, Abel had to follow his brother spiritually for the next 600 years. Right? And he found that there was no end to revenge. Revenge doesn't satisfy. Revenge doesn't change the desire. And it certainly does not heal the past. So when you look at all of the different stories in the Bible, the Quran, and the Torah, they're all metaphoric. There's always another side, another reason, and so much of this is based upon what Jesus told us in the Sermon on the Mount, which was open to everyone, right? Jesus, on the way into town, Jesus stops at the well and does a reading for the woman at the well who has had, count them, 6 husbands. And she's so amazed that she goes into town and spreads the word that he's coming, that there's going to be this talk, and everyone should come because he has an amazing talent. So when he has the Sermon on the Mount, which is open to everyone, then they also get a free meal, right? It's a free meal and a sermon. And what Jesus is saying there is he's giving the instructions on how to live in this world, how to live a cool life, how, how to how to be able to really change with the times, to be able to forgive, and it lets us know that to be godlike is to be forgiving. God is not a vengeful God that we were taught, like the Romans and the Greeks and their gods, and those gods are really based upon gods being like humans. We transfer all of our human traits to gods, and this is this was very useful for governments putting together armies and trying to control people, trying to have people always under the control of the central group. And we today, if we look at the world of today, we come together and we pray for God's natural world. And what we get is the chaos and the violence that comes from authorities imposing their will upon the world. It's we're all in one very large boat, every one of us, and we're all headed to the same destination. Here we go. We're on the boat. We're headed to the destination, and to throw any spirit overboard for any reason slows down the enlightenment. It slows down the enlightenment of the universe. We're, we're all we're all going to have to go to God together. No one's gone yet. What are they waiting for? They're waiting for all souls. Well, actually, not souls, but spirits. For all spirits on earth to be able to become enlightened, and that is to forgive each other, to become to work together for the common good. That will bring enlightenment to the entire planet, and enlightenment is the only pathway that God has ever created for the spirits here on earth to be able to see God, to go to God. So it's also true for animals. And boy, you talk about needing forgiveness. Think about what I have eaten in 73 years. And to now know that animals are spirits. And animals, we were meant to evolve with and learn from animals. We were never meant to keep them from evolving and eat them. So we do not eat eagles. Why? Because eagles teach us the karmic lesson of desiring altitude, of wanting to get higher and higher, and then having to suffer the coming back down harder and harder. You have animals like the brave lion, the loyal elephant, your own sympathetic pet that loves you. These animals have a nature so close to our own that we set them up as ideals for humans to follow. So what we have inside of us in this human body that we have, it not only holds our spirit, but there's also room for your soul, the Spirit of God. The Spirit of God is in each and every human, each and every animal. This is what we have to come to grips with, have to come to terms with when we see what we're trying to overcome to become enlightened. You once you see the path and you realize that, my goodness, this the fact that I have lived this life is what makes it so difficult for me to get out of this life, right? And ever become enlightened. And also, I see that our time is up. That is our hour for tonight. And I'm so thankful for those in the chat room tonight who came by and participated in the show. Remember to hit the thumbs up button to show your support. And this, the Cosmic Watch, will return next week, same place, same channel, and we will have another talk, and we'll be joined by our friends in the chat room and see what we can do to help them along. So till the next time, I'm Franklin. Thank you so much for being here.